I think they're going to get 70. I don't know about 74. 74 is insane. 70 can be done.
Dub, you were part of that critical 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter. What was the directive coming out of the timeout there?
Play hard.
Are we watching the rise of one of the most unstoppable squads the NBA has seen in years? The Oklahoma City Thunder are ripping through the league with a wild 21 start, the second best opening stretch in history, right behind the legendary 2016 Golden State Warriors and their 24-0 run. That's the kind of territory only the 1997 Chicago Bulls and the 1968 Philadelphia 76ers ever touched, and OKC is standing right next to them now. What makes this run even more unbelievable is the fact that the Thunder haven't played a single game with their full starting lineup healthy, not one. They're out here dominating while still missing key guys, which is insane because it means we might only be seeing the unpolished version of this team. Once this squad is completely healthy and everybody's locked in, things could get dangerous fast, like the type of dangerous that makes the whole league start checking over their shoulders. And the wild part, you can already feel the shift happening as players return. Every time someone comes back, OKC sharpens up, more grit, more rhythm, more pressure. Every fresh body on the court seems to push them to another level, like they're leveling up in real time. Right now, they're hooping like they don't even follow the same rules as everybody else. Teams around the league can't figure them out, and leading the charge in the middle of all this chaos is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the calm storm at the center of the madness. This version of SGA feels like a new upgrade, colder, smoother, smarter, and completely in control of every second he's on the floor. He already won an MVP, a finals MVP, and a championship while dropping 30 a night in the playoffs, yet somehow he looks even better now. His moves are smooth, his footwork is tight, and every decision looks like he's thinking 2 steps ahead. When he gets to his spots, it feels automatic. And his playmaking? That's where the whole game has flipped. He's not reacting to the defense anymore. He's straight up dictating what happens. You can literally watch him read defenders before they even shift, already knowing exactly where the ball is going and who's about to get a clean look. The numbers back it up too. 6.7 assists per game, turnovers down to 1.7, and his pass to turnover ratio sitting at 7.6%, putting him in the 90th percentile among all NBA playmakers. He's not just improving, he's evolving into something totally new. SGA's jump means more than most people realize. Last season, his fast reads and clutch decisions pushed OKC through 2 Game 7 battles and all the way to a championship. But repeating a run like that, it's tough, especially since Aaron Gordon and Tyrese Halliburton were injured during those matchups. OKC can't expect that kind of luck again. This time they need cleaner execution and more balance to defend their crown. And that's exactly where this new version of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander comes in.
Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday.
Mine too, actually, for different reasons.
You can tell, but all of y'all are invited to my house. You know who's not invited? SGA. Because he go eat all the damn food. He go eat me out of the house and home. And that's what he's doing right now.
Dub, you were part of that critical 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter. What was the directive coming out of the timeout there?
Play hard.
The Thunder needed him to punish defenses that overload or trap him, and now he's doing it without breaking a sweat. Whenever teams send doubles or heavy help, he stays cool, flipping all that pressure into open shots and easy buckets for his squad. He's not just running the offense anymore, he's controlling the entire rhythm of the game. The pace of OKC's half-court sets now moves exactly how he wants it to, possession after possession, like he's conducting an orchestra on the hardwood. And even in live moments, the focus stays tight. When asked, Dub, you're part of that critical 8-0 run to start the fourth quarter. What was the directive coming out of the timeout there? And he answered, play hard. It shows how locked in and straightforward this team is at every level. This version of OKC, it looks like the league might not be ready for what comes next.
Okay, but we also should shout out AJ Mitchell, who's filled in amazingly.
I just feel like in 10 years, Coach, Wendy, Malika, that we're going to be talking about Sam Presti as one of the best GMs to ever do it, far as him being able to eye and search out talent.
Then there's the shooting, the part that's making defenders lose their minds out there. The mid-range has always been SGA's sweet spot, and he's owning that area again this season. He's cashing 54% of his long mid-range jumpers, sitting in the 88th percentile, and another 54% on short mid-range looks, which lands him in the 89th percentile. Every defender knows exactly what he wants to do, but stopping it, that's the problem. Nobody can shut it down, and the real shot comes from deep. Last year, SGA was solid from 3 at 37.5% respectable, but not elite. This season, he's climbing past 42%, stepping into that upper tier territory like he belongs there. That completely flips the scouting report on him. Teams can't sag off or duck under screens anymore. They're forced to chase him over the top, and when they do, he slices into the paint with huge driving lanes. Half the time, defenders end up fouling him just to slow him down. SGA has taken the two things people used to question, his playmaking and his three-point shooting, and turned them into straight-up weapons. He's flirting with a 50-40-90 season and only missing the free throw mark by less than 1%, all while carrying one of the highest usage rates in the league at 36% of OKC's possessions. That's wild for a player with this workload, yet his efficiency hasn't dropped one bit. The dominance feels unreal, like we're watching someone expand the limits of what a guard can do on the court. At this point, it doesn't feel like we're just watching a star anymore. We're watching Shea Gilgeous-Alexander redefine what it means to be a complete scorer and playmaker in today's NBA. When you stack his heavy load with this level of efficiency, you get one of the cleanest, most ruthless scoring profiles the league has ever seen from a guard. That's why dropping 20 a night looks effortless for him, like he's just gliding through traffic and nobody can knock him off his path. After OKC's 123-115 win over the Blazers, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander officially put his name in the record books again. He scored 20 or more in 93 straight games, passing Wilt Chamberlain's 92-game streak to claim the second longest run in NBA history. The only player ahead of him, Wilt again, with that legendary 126-game streak from 1961 to 1963. 93 straight games. That's not luck. That's consistency most players can't even picture. Nobody in the modern era just stumbles into a streak like that. And here's the crazy part. His growth isn't just elevating his own numbers, it's reshaping the entire Thunder roster. His rise has lifted OKC's ceiling in ways that stats can barely capture. Last season, the Thunder were already one of the top defensive squads in the league, but this year's version, they feel different. It's not about one big shot blocker or some tricky scheme. It's about creating a defense where every single player can guard. That's almost unheard of in today's NBA. Look at their rotation. There's no weak link anywhere. Even SGA holds his ground one-on-one and takes matchups personally. Every lineup OKC puts on the floor comes with length, discipline, and switchability. They build a defensive wall that feels way too organized for such a young team. Opponents can't hunt mismatches because there's nobody to attack, and right at the front of that wall is Lou Dort. Dort takes the toughest assignment every single night. Star guards, elite wings, whoever's cooking, and he makes life miserable for them. His blend of strength, balance, and non-stop motor turns every possession into a grind. He doesn't just contest shots, he cuts off angles, absorbs contact, and forces stars into bad decisions. And just when a team thinks they finally slipped past Dort's pressure, the chaos begins. One extra pass, one tiny glance away, and the other four Thunder defenders close in like a trap snapping shut. This defense doesn't give you space, doesn't give you comfort, and doesn't give you a break. And SGA's rise is the engine behind the whole thing. They swarm, swipe the ball, and take off the other way before anyone even understands what just went wrong. Once the Thunder break out in transition, the play is basically finished. They turn defense into instant offense faster than any squad in the league right now. Their fast break numbers keep climbing into historic territory, and the way they fill lanes together looks automatic, almost like the whole team shares the same instinct. This squad doesn't just slow opponents down, they smother them, then explode the other direction for easy buckets before you can even blink. Every defensive stop feels like the setup for another highlight, and the pressure they apply is more than intensity, it's straight up suffocation. And even if a team somehow makes it past that first wave of defenders, the reward waiting for them isn't pretty, because Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein are standing tall in the paint. Chet is already one of the league's top shot blockers, but what makes him different is how light he is on his feet. He can step out and guard quick wings and guards, stay in front, and still contest clean without fouling. Watching a 7-footer defend that far from the rim and make it look so natural is rare in today's game. Then you've got Hartenstein, who brings a whole different type of rugged edge. He's a strong post defender who can battle inside with elite bigs like Nikola Jokic or Alfred and Shine without needing constant help. But when matchups get tight, Chet slides over at the perfect moment, creating this rotating wall around the paint that takes away every clean look. That combination doesn't just bother centers, it traps them. And the part that ties all of it together is their chemistry. These two communicate non-stop, calling out screens, switching matchups, closing gaps left by guards, and jumping passing lanes whenever they see an opening. Most teams are lucky to have one elite rim protector. OKC has two, both smart enough to erase mistakes before they even turn into problems. But the true engine behind this defense isn't just the talent, it's the commitment. Every player moves like they're plugged into the same defensive heartbeat. The second you think you found a lane or a passing option, it disappears like it was never there. They don't just defend, they attack, hunting down every inch of space opponents try to use. That level of unity doesn't show up by accident. It comes from total buy-in, every player deciding they're going to outwork whoever's in front of them every single possession. That mix of chemistry, effort, and a locked-in system has pushed OKC's defense into territory we usually only talk about with legendary teams. Their relative defensive rating, a measure of how much better they are than league average, now ranks next to the 2004 Pistons, 1996 Bulls, and 2008 Celtics. Those squads wrote the blueprint for modern elite defense, and somehow this young Thunder group is standing right beside them. This isn't just a young team defending well, this is a squad slowly building a legacy, the kind of defense people might mention years from now alongside the most suffocating units the NBA has ever seen. The great defensive teams that shaped the league, the ones that built dynasties, set standards, and raised banners, all shared one thing in common: they could shut teams down whenever they felt like it. And through these first 21 games, the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing that exact same thing. Their minus 11.1 relative defensive rating isn't just impressive, it's historic. It's the best defensive mark of the entire modern era, and it's not coming from luck or early season hype. This is real dominance, night after night, like a squad that knows exactly who they are. And when a team starts 18-1 without its second best player, that tells you everything about how deep and dangerous this roster really is. That missing piece? Jalen Williams, the same dude who dropped 40 in the NBA Finals, ran the offense when things got tight, guarded 4 different positions, and showed the world he might be one of the most complete wings in the league. His return doesn't just help, they reshape the entire ceiling with him on the court. Williams is the connector, the guy who smooths out their half-court sets, keeps the ball moving when Shea Gilgeous-Alexander takes a breather, and makes the offense run like it's on autopilot. The more you watch him, the easier it is to believe J-Dub might quietly be the most versatile player in basketball. Last season, he literally started at center when OKC had no bigs available, and in the finals when Indiana sent traps at Shaw to force the ball out of his hands, Jalen stepped right into the floor general role and calmly steered the offense through every storm. That adaptability was a huge reason OKC ended up lifting the trophy. Now that he's back, Williams is settling the bench minutes, organizing the second unit, and keeping everything steady whenever Shaw sits. And considering how big of a leap he made last season, from opening night to finals level impact, it's totally reasonable to think he's got another jump coming as soon as he finds his rhythm again. And here's the scary part, they were 18-1 without him. Add his playmaking, his defense, and that calm leadership back into the lineup, and every contender in the league should be feeling pressure right now. Because with Jalen Williams active, this team doesn't just look good, they look complete. People really don't talk enough about how strong Jalen J-Dub Williams is on the defensive end. He guards 1 through 4 without blinking, sliding with quick guards, standing firm against strong forwards, and rotating like someone who's been in the league for a decade. He checks every defensive box a coach could want, even in his very first game back from injury, while still shaking off rust and getting his legs back. He looked composed, focused, and totally locked in. He was adjusting to NBA speed again, recalibrating his jumper, finding rhythm, all the usual things after missing time, yet he still finished with 8 assists, 2 steals, and several defensive sequences that completely steadied OKC's rotations. Then came his second game back in Portland, where he dropped 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks, all while his jumper still wasn't fully there yet. That's the kind of all-around impact that changes everything for this team. That's the kind of impact that makes coaches trust him instantly. Once his rhythm fully returns, and it's only a matter of time, this version of JW is gonna look like a complete two-way star again. The fact that he's already shifting games after just 2 appearances says everything about where he's heading and how high his ceiling really is. But what truly makes this Thunder squad overwhelming isn't just the stars, it's the depth. Every single player in the rotation has a clear role, brings something unique, and can be trusted when the pressure hits. That balance, that adaptability is exactly what separates OKC from the rest of the league right now. This isn't just a talented young roster, they're built with chemistry, discipline, and total buy-in from top to bottom. When you combine that with the best defense of the modern era and an offense that keeps adding new wrinkles every week, it becomes clear that OKC isn't just chasing greatness, they're creating it in real time. There's not a single player on this roster who can be hunted on defense or forced off the floor. Nobody pushes the Thunder into awkward lineups or knocks them out of their rhythm. They've built a group with the perfect mix of youth, length, and versatility, and it shows every time they match up with someone new. Few teams in the league can adjust on the fly the way OKC does. And then you look at Chet Holmgren, the perfect example of that flexibility. He's finally making the leap everyone expected, rolling harder to the rim, attacking mismatches, and still stretching defenses by knocking down 35% from deep, sitting in the 79th percentile among bigs. Defensively, he's practically a system all by himself. He shuts down drives before they even finish, alters 10 to 12 shots a night just with his presence, and still averages around 1.5 blocks per game. Every month you see something new: cleaner positioning, sharper timing, smoother footwork. Chet is turning into the kind of anchor that changes everything on both ends of the floor. At just 23, he's starting to look like a future All-NBA pillar, the type of player who can keep a contender at the top for years to come. And when Chet Holmgren takes a breather, Isaiah Hartenstein steps in as the quiet stabilizer, the guy who keeps everything steady without needing attention or headlines. His impact shows up in the flow of the game, boxing out, protecting the rim, setting screens that actually free teammates, and helping keep OKC's defensive shape locked in. In the 2 games he missed against the Suns and Blazers, the Thunder suddenly had to grind through close fourth quarters, something they've rarely had to deal with all season. That alone shows how important Hartenstein is to their balance and rhythm. Then there's AJ Mitchell, the breakout guard who's playing with the poise of a veteran even though he's only in his 2nd season. He brings power, patience, and real creation without hijacking the offense. He attacks downhill, finishes through contact, and controls the tempo for the 2nd unit like he's been doing this for 5 or 6 years. Watching him, you can't help but see flashes of a young Jalen Brunson, that same calm confidence, that same ability to slow the game down and pick his spots. And if the Thunder can keep him long term, he might end up being one of the pieces that separates good teams from great ones. Besides Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, that backcourt could end up being one of the toughest, most balanced duos in the entire league. And right behind them is a trio of elite defensive anchors: Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, and Alex Caruso. 3 absolute problems for opposing guards, all capable of guarding different positions and sliding right into OKC's system without breaking rhythm for a second. Caruso especially has been a quiet game changer. The Thunder are 9.3 points better when he's on the court, which is wild considering they're already a plus 15. 3 team without him, but with Caruso, that net rating jumps to plus 24.6 exclamation mark. That kind of swing almost doesn't exist in today's NBA, and his individual defensive rating of 96.9 is unreal in a league that has never scored faster or more efficiently than it does right now. This team doesn't just have depth, they've got options. They can go big, go small, switch everything, run a fast break unit, or grind with a defensive heavy lineup, and done in every single version works. Every player fits, every rotation holds under pressure, and no contender in the league can match this level of flexibility right now. The Thunder aren't just winning, they're dominating. They've got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander playing at a historic level, Jalen Williams returning to a roster that was already 18-1 without him. Yes, 18-1, and Chet Holmgren blossoming into an all-NBA level force right in front of everyone's eyes. Sitting at 21 and leading the entire league, they've done all of this without ever having their full starting 5 healthy. They've built what might be the deepest, most playoff-ready rotation in basketball. A top 5 offense anchored by a defense performing at an all-time level through just 21 games. This Thunder squad feels like something pulled out of another era. Young, fearless, perfectly balanced, and dangerously close to unstoppable. Once they're fully healthy, it's tough to imagine who's supposed to slow them down. But while Oklahoma City is setting the pace out west, there's another young squad making noise in the east, the Toronto Raptors, quietly emerging as one of the most dangerous, overlooked teams in the conference. So what do you think about this Thunder run? Are we really watching the next dynasty forming in real time? Or is this just an early season burst before the league adjusts? And once OKC gets fully healthy, is there any team out there that can realistically slow them down? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear every take. I'm thankful for every opinion and love seeing how you all break down the game. Thanks so much for watching and being part of BallScope. Your support means everything. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. There's plenty more heat on the way, and trust me, you'll want to be here for it. Go check out another video on the channel and keep the basketball talk rolling. See you there. Peace. And just to bring it back full circle, sitting at 21, leading the league, and doing all this without one single game from their full starting lineup, this Thunder team might be building the deepest, most playoff-ready rotation we've seen in years. A top 5 offense paired with an all-time level defense through 21 games is no joke, and the rest of the league better start paying attention.